moving on. We're talking about the Atari VCS again. The Atari VCS. There's some news here. So the first thing to mention about the Atari VCS is it has been delayed for Indiegogo backers. Does not look like it's going to be by months. They're saying weeks. CEO, what's his name? Michael Arzt says that basically, they're talking about weeks, not months. And that hopefully backers will have their units in hand in January. So what this means is, yes, the VCS is coming out, and here it is. That's something that I think I've always said, was that it was definitely going to come out, but it's still a matter of what are we getting.
So this ended June 2018, the Indiegogo, and it was supposed to be fulfilled. When was the original fulfillment supposed to be?
March, like late spring, early summer 2019.
So we're like 9 months behind by now, and they delayed it because they said they got the new chip. People called them out on that. Some people said it was bullshit with the new chip. Remember that was like April or whatever it was. So they did our favorite way to get out news. They did a Medium article.
Yes,
we love the Medium article. We love the white papers that they put out.
Well, and then don't forget they said that they got the board. The board was ready in fall after a whole summer of no update. We covered this fairly recently.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
I can't keep track anymore.
So now the board is ready, but they're using a AMD Ryzen 1000 series SoC system on a chip. So the fact that the board is ready, I don't know a whole lot about this, and I'm not going to pretend I do, but a system on a chip, that seems to tell me that their board is basically an off-the-shelf part, more or less.
They're not doing it from scratch.
Yeah,
it's a small operation, Atari. They're not up in Sunnyvale making this stuff in a factory.
So the Q&A goes through a few things. Talks about the ship date, the delay, the reason why it was delayed for the AMD Ryzen chip. Where do you stand today with hardware and manufacturing? The first units of the Atari VCS, they show pictures of the pre-production units that have rolled off the assembly line.
And that's the black one, not the one that Ian's going to slap his dick on.
Right. Okay. Well, I think it was either of them. I just don't think
I see the picture of the red one, the red and black one.
That's the back of it. I think the back of most of them are like... I don't know.
They are?
Yeah, it doesn't show the front. Oddly, it doesn't show the front. As a matter of fact, it's very careful to not show the front of any of these. I wonder why.
Very interesting, Ian.
Probably because that's where they put either it gets like the wood grain thing, or plastic. It gets a black one or whatever.
Sure.
And that's
the same thing.
That's what magically differentiates.
Well, they showed the workers in China slapping them together, starting to construct them. Yeah.
So they don't expect there to be any further delays. Can you share your communication plans for the next few months? I thought this response was interesting. That's a good and important question. We always want our backers, fans, and customers to know how much they matter to us, and we want them to remain informed. Yeah. We understand that all of our stakeholders would like to know where things stand every day and want immediate answers to their individual posts and messages. I respectfully ask them to please understand that as a public company, we must follow specific protocols that are in place. In addition, because we also must consider the needs and wishes of our various partners, we do not always have full control over the pace or timing of our communications.
What?
We aim to make periodic updates to our community with complete transparency. If there's one thing I'd want people to always know, it's that no news is good news where the Atari VCS is concerned.
Wow, okay. All right, Michael.
Yeah, I don't think a lack of communication...
Did they just bring Michael on recently?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Did the French guys just hire him recently?
I don't know.
Because if Michael was paying attention, the no news is good news... That's not good when it's a project that people don't know what the hell's going on and you haven't done squat before ever.
Yeah, keeping people in the dark is
an awful thing to say.
Yeah, that's a horrible take. And it makes things seem very questionable, especially when updates were promised at some point over the summer and there was nothing, and then they come back and they're like, the board's ready. We have a new board.
What's this about? We are a public company. 2 guys own this thing, I thought. What do you mean it's a public company? They're not a NASDAQ?
No, I'm pretty sure they are.
Are they on NASDAQ now? Oh, that's how they got their money. That's right.
They're a public company.
That's how they raise their money. That's right.
Yes.
Well, here's the point. Even if you're a public company, it doesn't mean a public company has to communicate more openly to shareholders and to people, or to make sure that things are going smoothly. Sure. So that doesn't make any sense.
They talk about how there's been, basically vigorous debate in social media about the Atari VCS. Basically, people calling it what is this?
This is a penny stock either way.
Yeah, but they are public. There's been vigorous debate in social media about the Atari VCS. What do you make of it? Michael Arst. The Atari brand generates a lot of passion. I don't know that it actually does anymore. I think the bigger concern and why people are debating is, who is this for? What is it going to do? What are people going to be able to do with this? There's a question about, will it have original games, native apps, or a browser experience? He goes on to say, yes, they will. But then a question is asked again. One recent report claims that there will be no native apps at launch and that all services such as Netflix will be accessible through a Chrome-style browser. This is important. The answer is important here. As I already mentioned, the primary way to access games and services will be through the proprietary Atari VCS interface and App Store. For example, if a service such as Netflix is not available... That doesn't make any sense. So he says that the primary way to do it is through the interface and App Store. However, for example, if a service such as Netflix is not available as an app on our platform at launch, it can still be accessed through the web browser, and the sandbox mode really allows unlimited possibility to reach anything on the web. We don't expect the pre-launch version shipping to our Indiegogo backers to have a full complement of native third-party apps. I'm reading that as no native third-party apps.
Okay.
Because he's not giving examples of any that will be shipping with it. There will be games to play and things to do. Okay, good. But the first big wave of apps isn't likely to come before Q1 of next year as we build towards our full retail launch and see a ramp-up of the installed base. Much of this is obviously dependent on the app development timelines and contributions of any developers looking to make their apps available on the Atari VCS. Isn't that something you probably should have freaking coordinated for the release of the system? I mean, you would think that that's something that would have been, I don't know, a very key part of the release. Saying, oh, it just depends on when they're done. Other companies that do this coordinate with their developers to make sure that there are launch apps, that there are things available at launch, that there are launch games, that things are ready to go.
Well, they obviously,
I mean, it's not, you don't have to read between any lines here. This is very much we have no idea what's going to be on this system at launch. I have a feeling that the Indiegogo backers are going to get it, and there's not going to be anything.
So Atari as a public company, this version of it happened September 2017. According to what I'm looking at, I can't find it before that. So when they took it over, I guess it's Atari SA. SA is a French designation, I believe, for a company. And so they went live late 2017 in preparation of this, probably, most likely. So, and that's where the money came from, I think, initially. And it went, according to this, it was a 43-cent stock. Now it's a 36-cent stock, so it's not worth anything. I don't know where their money's coming from, just from this original stock offering.
Oh, Indiegogo? Or whatever it was.
I mean, I'm looking at the financials here.
I mean, they got plenty of money through that. So Atari's, the last thing he says in regards to the apps, Atari's goal is to have the content providers that our community values the most be accessible via apps, and the team expects the volume of content available will grow over time as more Atari VCS units sell into the market and we expand our gaming and entertainment partnerships. Articles that suggest otherwise are inaccurate. So we're going to sell a bunch of these, and we're just going to... Because we're going to sell a bunch of these, people are going to want to make stuff for it, is their answer. It's never worked that way before. People buy something because of what's available on it. People don't buy something because they love Atari and then wait to see what apps come of it afterwards. That's a horrible business decision.
But that's how their Indiegogo video was pitched. I mean, their Indiegogo video was pitched as, I love Atari.
Oh, I get it. But that's not how it's going to work in real life.
Not 40 years later.
The people who love Atari, who bought this because they adore Atari, and I'm sure that there are some of them, are going to get it, hook it up, see nothing, and they're going to put it away. They're not going to keep it hooked up and be like, I can't wait until 6 months from now when all these people see the potential of the Atari VCS and start making apps for it. That's absurd.
Why can't I find when this stock came into existence? I think it might have been earlier 2017. I can't find it on here. Either way, this is bad news. But good news, Ian. You can pre-order at GameStop.
Yes, and Walmart.
Power to the player. You can get the Atari VCS 800 Onyx all-in system bundle. Order it right now, Ian. Release date March 31st. $380.
And please make sure you do that, because if you don't buy it, you won't show other developers that there's a market for Atari VCS, and there won't be anything for it.
$380.
They're telling you in this interview. This interview is saying, buy our product, trust us. There's going to be stuff later on.
The details page, the Atari VCS 800 Onyx all-in-one bundle, blah, 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 includes the base as well as a classic joystick and modern controller. It comes with 8 gig of RAM. That's it. That is fully upgradable. And users will experience an ever-expanding Atari world of new games, classic and remastered favorites, streaming multimedia and personal apps, or can easily make their own. Do you imagine if Nintendo said, pre-order the Switch, you can make your own stuff on it? Right. How would that go over?
Right. And so $380 for what they're offering, that is
media
essentially
box.
going
it's a
to
media
be,
box.
and they keep pushing the sandbox mode. Right. It's going to be a Linux hobbyist computer. Well, my question then is, I was looking at the AMD Ryzen chip that they're using, the SoC. And like I said, I don't know a lot about them, but I know that those are used by hobbyists to make hobby computers, Linux computers. And that chip is $150, I think was what I saw it for. Then you buy your own RAM. Go find your own RAM. You can get it for you're paying a lot for something that you can do for what appears to be about $200 probably. You're paying for a $380 for a fancy shell. Use controllers that you already have.
Yeah, and a $50 one button joystick and a controller that's off the shelf that they just rebranded with like red.
They say that they've made that they've made modifications to the controller, but either way, it's still a basic controller. You have a controller that you can use at home. If this is something that is appealing to you for the hobbyist aspects of it, you already have half the stuff you need. Go buy an AMD Ryzen 1000 series SoC. Build your own. So it's coming, but I mean it's going to launch, and looking at this, especially the attitude towards people will see the enthusiasm for the Atari VCS, and then they'll have to make products for it. No, that's not how it works. This is going to hit with a wet thud.
Okay, I'm trying to find this stock historical data. I'm having trouble. It is cute that on the name of the Atari SA stock is Pong F, or like Pong France. I think that's cute at least. But I'm trying to find where the stock has been historically, just for shits and giggles. Trying to see how far back it goes. I only see it going back 2017. Somewhere else I said 2015. It hasn't been around for a huge amount of time though, according to this. So anyway, I would not invest in Ataris. I'm gonna be that idiot that has all the buttons and shit around. That no one saw the stock crash come in 2008. Remember that the guy, the bald guy, the money guy. Don't buy Atari stock. That's Pat's recommendation right now. Mad Money. Jim Cramer, Mad Money. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
The guy with the suspenders?
Nope.
That runs around, does the show? Wow, okay.
I'm looking right now.
Anyway, so don't buy the Atari stock, because I don't think that I'm shocked that Walmart would make this a pre-order available, but then again, they can let third-party people on their site anyway. But the fact that GameStop has it going on here, that they have a GameStop potential deal, I think is funny here. But I don't know if that means they're going to be fulfilling it or just acting as a drop ship sort of thing for Atari directly.
No, I have a feeling it's going to be stocked. It's not going to do anything.
Okay.
And when, I hope they've given the GameStop employees a little card, that says, when people ask, where are the games, where are the programs, say, please buy this, they are coming. Show the world your enthusiasm for the Atari VCS.
They're going to get a bunch of 58-year-olds walking into GameStop to buy the new Atari console.
I can't believe the balls of that. Yeah, wing and a prayer. Have faith in us. It's coming. There's going to be stuff for it. Oh, boy, oh, betcha.
The killer app is you out there. You can create your own things. All right, moving on here.